Some of your background and some of your works are quite similar to my past. I started to use drugs actively, I think, when I was 14. And from 16, I started the opioids and actually very fast get dependent. No one from the teenagers, from my friends, for example, we didn't realize how serious could be this kind of experience in terms of the consequences. And
But presumably not just the consequences around addiction, presumably also the
yeah,
consequences around disease.
around diseases, exactly. We didn't seriously think about things like HIV, hepatitis C, within the harm reduction programs. When I started to be a client of needle and syringe programs, and with this, rapid tests, the guys proposed me, this case manager, social workers proposed me, oh, Anton, let's do the rapid test. And the HIV and Hep C was there. It was okay. How long will I stay alive? So my first question to my doctor, infectionist, was, so how long can I live? Still, can I stay alive from today? She was like, Anton, don't worry. There is invented, how to say, invented treatment, but it's not available for you now. You should wait, but it's not so fast process as you think. 2 years I was waiting while my immune system went down, less than 200 cells, and only then they proposed me, they said, okay, now we can start your therapy. But for that period of time, I was really kind of shocked, confused, and I didn't know what to expect.
And that lack of information is so frightening. So with me it was, because quite shortly after I got diagnosed with Hep C, I got diagnosed with cirrhosis. And nobody told me anything about it. And so, a bit like you, I was thinking, I'm going to die. That's what's going to happen. And that was, I think, that was really the motivator for me. It was thinking, God, if I feel like this, there are lots of other people who, are also thinking, oh, like you, oh my God, this is like a death sentence. And, being able to reassure people. But at the same time, it's this interesting thing with how people's perception of disease shifts. So, HIV is kind of a death sentence, and then when antiretrovirals come along, it's like, no, it's actually Hep C if you have them both that is now the more dangerous thing. But then at one point, people are like, oh, Hep C, it's very slow, you can wait for treatment. And in my case, back in the 90s, because I had gene type 1 and cirrhosis, the available medicine there was very ineffective. So
It was interference.
yeah, and for gene type 1 cirrhotics, it really didn't do anything. You were very unlikely. So again, a bit like you, I was like having to wait for something to come in the future.
Perhaps,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, and and that's really scary to. But I mean, I really then thought, well, there was talk about new discoveries coming, and so I really tried to concentrate on keeping my health as good as I could.
So I was always jealous, in some sense, jealous to people from kind of Western Europe, because when it's talking about some inventions or some kind of researches around new medications, I I was clear how far Ukraine as a country is from that processes, and we as a people, I mean, only from the processes of these researches, but also from the possibility to buy then some new medications and provide it to citizens, to Ukrainians. So it was something like, you know, somewhere far, somewhere people can get this medication, but not in my country.
I personally feel this very strongly, that we have to do as much as feasible for us to do, because we can't have a situation where a medication, particularly a life-saving medication, is available in some countries and
Not available in
yeah,
another.
and that people die just because they can't get it. That's today, the 21st century, it's really not acceptable. It's not morally right, and it's an incredible waste of the discovery of something. You know, I mean, probably most recently, the drugs that stand out were for Hep C, because it's, you know, they're probably one of the sort of breakthrough areas where suddenly a cure was available. You know, I'm cured of my Hep C, you're cured of your Hep C. You know, it's really life-changing. And we want to make sure that these breakthroughs are available, and Hep C has shown that we can do this very clearly. I mean, HIV is different because it's just as life-saving, the drugs there, but it's more about dealing with a chronic condition. But it's still these life-saving drugs being available to the people who need them.